All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is January 7th, 2025. My name is John Kerrigan. I moderate the BYOB Trading Room. Hey, let's go take a look at some charts today. First chart we'll look at is SPY. All right, on the SPY, we took a trade right here on the breakdown, and that was below this area right here, this block of candles right there. It was below 594.36, and we bought puts and we traded them down into and under the all-time high anchored VWAP right down into this area right through here. Made about $2,000 on those. In addition to that, we bought another red erases green as price came under this brick right through here, brick wall, all right, where you see the bounce in the price action, and made $1,000 off of that one. We traded the 585 puts, 3 DTEs, down into this location through here. So was a nice trade on that one. On the day was a beautiful day. Okay, so there's SPY. On the 10-minute, we have a 10-minute downtrend coming into the close right here. You can see the faster moving average, which is the thin yellow line, all right, is underneath the other two. That would be the white line. That's the 8 EMA, and that is the 17 EMA right there. So the 17 and the white 8 EMA. So we have a 10-minute downtrend coming into the close. On the 2-hour chart, right, well, we had a cross of the 3 EMA, cross down under the 8, and we have a 2-hour downtrend coming into the close. On the daily chart, I'm going to pick up a different screen so you can see, and then I'm going to squeeze this out of here, okay, because we don't need that. And I'm going to push this down just a little bit. All right, so on the daily chart, lower high, lower low, closing underneath a bearish trap underneath the 17 EMA right there. I had hopes that we were going to take out this high and we'd have an uptrend. Got a big down day today. All right, so the question is this a reversal? Are we going to see follow through to the downside, or do we consolidate into a wedge? My guess is we already started the wedge right here, as we continue the wedge right through here and right here. So we got a wedge going on there. We got another wedge hanging out right here, and that would go right through there. So we got a wedge here, another little wedge right there. So there's SPY on the daily chart. Weekly chart, all right, we're still in an uptrend. We haven't made a lower low yet on the weekly. All right, so we're still in an uptrend on the weekly, but on the daily, price action made a lower low right here, taking out this low and this low, making a lower low, putting SPY in a downtrend. So there we are with SPY. So we had a gap down here, and we filled that gap that was down there. So let's take a look at QQQ. QQQ was, here we are, QQQ, lower high, lower low, closing under, bearish trap underneath the 17 EMA, back into the upper third. All right, SPY is still in the upper quadrant up here. All right, SPY still in the upper quadrant, QQQ in the upper third. All right, see the quadrant up here? Well, they lost the top quadrant, so they're in the upper third right up here. All right. SPY closing underneath all-time high anchored VWAP. QQQ doing the same thing as well. All right. Price action. All of the Fab 5 still in daily downtrends. So there's a daily chart of QQQ. All right. So still bullish up here. Just not moving up. All right. Definitely not today. Was yesterday. Yesterday was a pretty good day. Today, kind of got the sell-off. Look how that doji candle lines up there. Again, you got more wick than you do body and tail. kind of a clue that price may be coming down or pausing to consolidate up there. Okay, see the doji here, price stalls right into the downtrend line. Of course, that downtrend line wasn't there unless you tagged in these 3 tips right there, right into the downtrend line, and then price comes back down. Question is, we made a lower high. Will we make a lower low? All right, that's the question on the QQQ for the daily chart. Same thing goes for SPY. All right, let's take a look at FNGU. All right, FNGU got the fat doji up here. All right, price action looking like an outside day. Higher high up here and lower low. Closing under the bearish trap or the bullish trap underneath the 17 EMA. Underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. Price action still in quadrant 1. Still bullish up here in quadrant 1. Even with that big red candle. Remember, we had one here. Probably just as ugly right there. This one's not as big as that one. But if we get follow through, this one had no follow through. This one may have follow through down here. We'll see what happens. So there's FNGUs. Take a look at Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow, lower high, lower low, closing underneath the bearish trap, underneath the 17. Diamond Dow in a downtrend as well. All of the Fab 5 are in downtrends. Again, moving up and giving it up, so just neutral. All right, just neutral here on Diamond Dow. All right, let's take a look at, let me close this. All right, and let's take a look at IWM. Also in a downtrend, price action, lower high, lower low. Closing underneath bearish cross, underneath the 17 EMA. Again, moving up and giving it up. So just neutral right here, okay? It becomes bearish when we start closing candles down here in the lower third and in quadrant 1. All right, that's when it becomes bearish. Right now, just neutral. There's IWM in a downtrend right there, okay? So you can see price action, like I said, anytime you've got a valley between 2 peaks, you will oftentimes see price go up and check that valley. And you can see right here, price checked the bottom of that valley twice right there. All right, so possibility we get a more selling come in tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Take a look at our technicals. T2122. Well, you see we popped out of the seller's chop zone or the sell zone right here. Just barely. We inched our way into the door. Got a couple toes in there. And then the bulls threw us out. All right. Didn't get back to the midpoint. Made a lower high. There's the other high. Made a lower high. And then from the lower high, we made a lower low. And we just, we just found and encamped right on top of the bulls right here in the sell zone right here on T2122. T2123 looks like selling from the beginning of the day all the way into the end of the day. All right. Actually just kind of melting through that prior all-time high. That's the green line right here. On the 3-bar chart, it's the same chart, okay? Just the 3-bar. Okay, you can see price action on the 15-minute underneath the 200 SMA and opening up more and more space as the days continue to expire. We're getting more space opening up between this falling 200 and the price action candles down here. See, we got more space opening up as from where we were yesterday at the end of the day. So not a good look. Things melting and falling apart here quickly. We'll see what happens here. Here's the 3-bar chart in a big bear flag. Again, flag looking longer than the flagpole. Price action breaking out of the consolidation here to come back down and probably check this other prior all-time high right through here. That's the light green line right there. 200 SMA kind of flat here, okay? So notice whatever is done on one side of the 200 kind of winds up on the other side of the 200. So we had a nice rally over the 200 here. Now we're getting a dip under the 200 here. I think bulls may find, I don't know which location they're going to come in and defend. They didn't want to defend this one. Maybe this one they are willing to defend when price gets down there. You can see price came down here before and bulls bought it up. We don't have any record of bulls buying it up on this line right here other than that candle bar, that one candle bar there and that one candle bar there. That's about it. That's all the history we have as far as bulls buying it up from that prior all-time high. But we do have records of them buying it up off of this one. So I'll be curious to see what happens when we do hit that. I think we will get a pretty good sized bounce right back up over this prior all-time high. We'll see what happens. There's T2123. FNGU selling, looking like selling from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. So you can see we gave respect to the downtrend line. Price action broke down through the all-time high anchored VWAP, broke down through 15-minute 200 SMA, and broke down through the 17 EMA right there, broke down through VWAP as well. So we got totally crushed on FNGU. But here's the deal, we didn't make a lower low yet, okay? Made a lower high, but we didn't make a lower low. So there's still hope left for the FNGU right there. All right, let's go take a look at some technicals. Let's start off with, not technicals, let's go take a look at some sectors. Let's start off with the energy sector, UNG. KUN, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's go take a look at UNG. Natural gas. Natural gas having a pullback. Second pullback. I did buy some today. Okay. I missed this day and felt like crap. And then I saw this today and bought some. I even made some money buying the dip. I was actually able to farm out a couple contracts and make some profits. Anyways, UNG price action, lower high, lower low, closing underneath a bullish trap, but over the 17 EMA. I picked up, I think 8 contracts, no, 7. All I got is 7 left. 7 contracts of UNG. I picked up the 18 strike, 164 DTE contract calls right there on UNG. All right, let's take a look at USO. UNG in an uptrend, by the way. Okay, notice UNG kind of consolidating, sloppy consolidation, by the way, over the midpoint. Okay, so that makes it kind of neutral there. If we can just close over this area here, that would be nice. We seem to be trying and putting in an effort to do it, so we'll see what happens. Okay, definitely don't want to come down here and visit quadrant 2 or quadrant 1. All right, so we're up over the midpoint. That's bullish, kind of neutral, but bullish only because we came from quadrant 1 and now we're in quadrant 3. All right, so hanging out in quadrant 3. Hey, I don't mind if they consolidate up here for 2 months. I'm fine with that. As long as they stay in quadrant 3, I'll be a happy camper. Eventually, I do need them to move up to quadrant 4. Okay, so there's UNG, consolidate up here. Anyways, consolidation over prior consolidation is bullish in my eyes. Let's take a look at USO. USO price action. Yesterday was an outside day. Today's an inside day. Lower high, higher low, closing over the bullish trap, over the 17 EMA. Okay, USO in an uptrend, just like UNG, flying high here. Like to see it break through the W pattern. Here's the W pattern. Price pulls down to here, goes up, pulls back to, well, we'll just say here, and then moves up. So we got a W pattern showing up here on USO. All right, like to see it break through the apex in the middle. All right, that's what we're looking for on USO. All right, it's up here, so it may consolidate. It would be normal for price to consolidate over here before blasting through the apex over here in the middle. All right, it's normal for them to have a struggle where sellers were before. Okay, so watching USO, I'm prepared to see this probably consolidate for 1 or 2 months before finally breaking out and heading up towards 85.90 area. All right, so there's USO in a daily uptrend. I like the price action on that. Just need to see some consolidation, and I want it to be bullish consolidation, and then I want to see a breakout coming after that. Maybe even 2 months. We'll see what happens. Get it done sooner, that would be nice, but don't want to push it too fast, otherwise you fall right back down. All right, let's take a look at SMH. All right, SMH in an uptrend, all right, making a new higher high. Price action, bearish engulfing, not pretty on that one. Price action up over, all-time high anchored VWAP, that's good. Up in quadrant 4. Challenging prior highs, not the all-time high, that's the all-time high over here. Challenging prior highs, I like that price action there on SMH. All right, up here in quadrant 4, now in a daily uptrend. So I like that. XLK. All right, XLK, bearish engulfing as well. Now find ourselves back underneath, all-time high anchored VWAP. XLK in a downtrend, but consolidating up in quadrant 4. Nothing wrong with that. That's a healthy consolidation up there in quadrant 4. And this would be normal for price action to get up there and have to consolidate before banging out new highs. So XLK is bullish, but technically in a downtrend and a bearish engulfing, not liking that much at all. Okay, but consolidating in quadrant 4. I have no problem with the downtrend or the consolidating in quadrant 4. I like it up there in quadrant 4. I think that's pretty good. I have no problem with it underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's fine with me right there as well. Prefer it up over it, but as long as they continue to consolidate up here in quadrant 4, I think we're still looking good. That's still strong. Notice they have not given anything up. Unlike some of the other sectors that move up and then give it up, okay, this is bullish. It's gone up and it's consolidating and holding the higher ground. Something that I like to see. Is one of my favorite patterns that I like to see is price action going up and holding the higher ground. All right, let's take a look at what do we want to go next? Let's take a look at XLF. XLF still in an uptrend. All right, kind of in this wedge right through here. In an uptrend, in order to make a downtrend, they would have to take out this low right here or this low right here. Okay, so banging through this low, making a lower low would put them into a downtrend, and that would even be questionable because they haven't made any peaks over the 17 EMA right up here. So it'll be kind of questionable on that. They'd have to actually take out this low right here to put themselves in a downtrend. Anyways, XLF price action for today, lower high, lower low, closing underneath a bearish trap, underneath the falling 17, underneath the falling all-time high anchored VWAP, but still holding the upper third up here. That's bullish, all right? Notice they went up and didn't give it all up, all right? You got some that went up and gave it all up, and you're back here at the midpoint. Notice that XLF has gone up and given part of it up, but not all of it. Still trying to hold that upper third. I like that. XLF neutral bullish right up there, okay, because they've given up part of it. Let's take a look at XLI. All right, XLI going up, giving it up back here at the midpoint. They find themselves back underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP, just like XLF, but you see them leaning on the midpoint, whereas XLF is still up here in the upper third. Okay, so XLI in a downtrend, all right, XLF in an uptrend. Okay, XLI in a downtrend, they broke this low and this low, that puts them in a downtrend. Let's take a look at, they're in a downtrend, but still neutral. Okay, going up and giving it up is just neutral. They can always go back up again. All right, when they go up and give it up and more, that would be bearish. All right, so far XLI just kind of neutral through here. All right, so price action holding the midpoint. I like that. All right, let's take a look at XLU. This is our utilities, price action, going up and giving it up. All right, still find themselves back at the midpoint. This is just neutral right through here on the utility sector. All right, price action, lower high, lower low. Caught underneath a falling 17, underneath an all-time high anchored VWAP. Just consolidating really in a bear flag right through here. I think XLU's got the same thing. XLI has the same type of consolidation. They're in a downtrend because they broke this low and this low. Okay, so XLU in a downtrend. So going up, giving it up, just neutral right through here on XLU. Let's take a look at XLE. All right, let's take a look at XLE. All right, XLE is trying to break out here. Okay, this is a year for XLE. Got a double peak up here. XLE breaking out after making lows right through here. Okay, now XLE is still in the lower third. Kind of questionable there, but kind of looking like it's hanging out in the lower third. So kind of showing some weakness there. Not really bullish. Okay, that's a huge sell-off to go from quadrant 4 clear down to quadrant 1. Like to see XLE is getting a bounce right now. Got a downtrend line coming right through here, as well as a vicious downtrend line coming through there. Starting a new uptrend, possibly right through here. Okay, starting a new uptrend. We'll see if they can hold that. Still bearish on XLE, but it is bouncing out of this area, and that's what I like to see. Okay, so XLE, not quite bullish yet. Like to see XLE up over this all-time high anchored VWAP. You can see we spent up quite a bit of time underneath it. All right, so like to see XLE get up here on the midpoint and start consolidating bullishly. Really sloppy all through here, up and down, up and down. Energy gets like that. Huge rip up, huge rip back. All right, so XLE still bearish underneath here, but definitely having a pullback, but not moving down, moving up right at this time. Okay, so you see we got a little bullish trap going on there. You get the faster moving average and the price candles up over the 8 EMA right there. Now they've crossed over the falling 17. Like to see them hold this higher ground and then eventually put in another measured move up to the high and come up here and challenge this all-time high anchored VWAP. Right now, just neutral to bearish right here on XLE because they're not in the lower third. They're kind of in the midfield area. So just kind of neutral bearish. If they get back down in here, I'd have to say they're probably going to be bearish again if they get back under the lower third. So there's XLE. Breaking it out of the bearish state into the neutral bearish state. All right, so there's XLE. Changing quadrants right now. So there's XLE. Let's take a look at XRT. This is a retail sector in a downtrend. We made lower lows. Here's some lows. We made lower lows. Okay, so it's kind of questionable whether it's a downtrend. They made lower lows. Here's some lows. They made lower lows. They didn't really make a high yet, but they do have a lower high right here. So, all right, so XRT in a downtrend, but over the uptrend line. XRT in the neutral zone, going up, giving it up. Consolidating, sloppy consolidation over prior consolidation. Okay, so this is kind of neutral, but leaning on the bullish side. All right, XRT, you can call it a downtrend because they made a lower low, but really is still part of the pullback. If they pop below that low, that will be a downtrend for me. All right, so there's XRT. Definitely not moving up. right now. Let's take a look at IYT. We'll call it a day. IYT, bearish engulfing, lower outside day, higher high, lower low, closing over a bullish trap. And underneath the 17 EMA, underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. IYT moving up, giving it up. So just neutral on IYT in the bullish sector. So kind of neutral bullish right there. But not acting very healthy at all. All right. We do have, what we did do, because we spiked through the 17, we did create a lower high. And that lower high looks like it's probably pretty easy to beat. So just need to make that higher low and come through and take out that high. We could have ourselves IYT in an uptrend. Prefer the uptrends that are over all-time high anchored VWAP. We'll see what we get. All right, traders, that's it for me today. All right, going to wrap this up. See you guys tomorrow. Don't forget, FOMC main event tomorrow is at 2 p.m. The FOMC minutes. Probably be some volatility again. Tomorrow, we'll see what happens. I'm starting to yawn. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Thank you for being here. Hope you all made some money. If you didn't, get with me. I'd like to help you out so we can solve this. I definitely want everybody in my room making money. Thanks, Robert. Thanks, Greg. Thanks, Brad. Thanks, LJ. Thanks, Trader D. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Appreciate that. Love it, everybody. See you tomorrow.